I'd like to invite you to join me on my morning walk. This is pretty much the walk that I take every day. It's about an hour in length, but of course I'll just shoot some quick highlights for you so you'll be able to watch it in just a few minutes. So enjoy the walk with me. The walk starts here just above Refuge Ranch, and as I pan over, there's our water tank that supplies all of our water. We have a truck come a couple of times a week to deliver water that we pay for. This is the path I walk then, going up the hill and the mountain, kind of steep heading up that way. Now the path is narrowed down to nothing much more than a horse path and a people path. There is solid rock some places where the volcanic rock has been laid bare by centuries of weather. Here's a rock fence, very common, not held together with mortar at all, just built like a puzzle, so it's strong and firm without any need for mortar. A view of 3 cactus type yucca plants preparing to go to seed. And this is why I like to wear hiking boots, because it's kind of uphill and rocky and not very sure footing a lot of the way here for a little bit. From this vantage point, a view of the very outskirts of the small town of Quequequatitla, the nearest town to us. On the path this time of year, fall, the wild natural marigolds are blossoming. It's the end of the rainy season, so they're taking advantage of the moisture in the ground and the sunny days. Marigolds. All marigolds around the world come from Mexico and maybe a couple other Latin American countries. This is their place of origin. Another fence and volcanic rock, slabs of it. Every bit of rock around here is volcanic. So at this juncture, there is a rock that I sometimes step off the path and sit on to rest myself. So as I sit here, this is the view that I have. A high hill and some farmers today are working in their field. They lay plastic in the rows, I suppose for weed control, and also maybe to help hold in moisture. They're working away today. The breeze blows the wild grass. The temperature is strange. It's warm because of the sun. At 7,000 feet altitude, you get more direct hit from the sun than you do having it go through another 1.5 miles of thick atmosphere. But on the other hand, we're 1.5 miles up, so the air is cool. So I'm being connected by both the sun and the wind at the same time, so it's both warm and cool to my senses at the very same time, if you can believe it. And the bees are busy gathering nectar. And a good size field of tomatoes. There are many cornfields. The corn here is much taller than the United States, probably 10 feet tall on average almost. Has to be able to handle cool growing conditions, for it never gets above 70 degrees here. We're about halfway on the walk now. This is one of my favorite stretches, the back stretch. That's where I'm heading next. Once in a while you meet traffic and you have to step off the road. Undoubtedly a farmer going to or from his fields with produce or to get produce. Lots of pine trees at this altitude. We planted a palm tree at Refuge Ranch, but naturally they don't grow in this area and find it a little bit difficult. But pine trees and some other trees thrive. The back half of my walk is a loop, so when I walked out I took this path here, and now when I came back this path here. So now the remainder of the hike will be going back from whence I came, but many times you see a totally different view of things when you're going the opposite direction. So it's like going in a whole new area, new journey, even though you just traveled it the other way. This is a view toward Popo, but it's obscured by cloudy skies today. And as I come near the end of my hike, my morning walk, I have a view of Quequequatitla, the small town that is nearest to us. And there's the Catholic Church of Quequequatitla. Kind of wraps around the valley, the town does. So it stretches around this hillside for probably a couple of miles. And one of our nearest neighbors to Refuge Ranch. And coming down the hill to Refuge Ranch. I thank you for joining me on this little journey. Hope you've enjoyed the trip. There's the main house of the family. There's what we call the basement, where some people, a couple apartments are, a couple of people live that are on staff, a few people, and then over there between the trees, down the hill a little bit further, is our house. And home sweet home.